Hello, everyone. Originally, when I started off doing these videos, I focused on stroke survivors. Anyway, and then what I ended up doing is meeting up with a bunch of fantastic people based out of Camrose. And they belong to a group called ALL, the Association for Life-Wide Living. And they hosted a brain conference in October of last year. Anyway, I became a part of it. Their ultimate goal, which I wholeheartedly endorse, is the creation of a mobility improvement center, which will have some neuro rehab in Camrose. So, guess what? Please like and subscribe to the video. I really want to promote all and its goals. Anyway, now I'm starting to include other conditions which may be caused by traumatic injury, or not necessarily traumatic. I mean, there's Parkinson's and MS and so on. But my guest today is a young man that I met in Calgary at Synaptic and an exomotion presentation. And now the reason I say Ryan is amazing is because, Ryan, you've been through some dramatic and very traumatic experience. And you know what? Some people might end up curling up in a ball of self-pity. And I really can't say I would blame them. But you know what? You've risen above, you've gone beyond that. So everyone meet Ryan Straschnitski. Polish or Ukrainian?
Polish.
All right. And I want everybody to meet Ryan and let him tell his story. So, your early life, Ryan, I saw a really cute young, I don't know, about 4-year-old picture of you. Please tell me about yourself.
Yeah, so I grew up in Calgary, Alberta. I grew up a hockey player, so hockey was kind of my life, and yeah, really made my way up the ranks. And then eventually, when I was about 16, I moved away from home to go play hockey in Edmonton for 2 years. And then after that, I went up to junior A hockey, which is right below pro in college, and I ended up playing for the Humboldt Broncos of the SJHL, which is the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. At the end of our season there, we had a bus accident that collided with the semi truck, and as a result, I sustained a spinal cord injury at the T1 level. And from then, I've been going to physio to regain the hope of maybe walking again. I've been trying to get into adaptive sport to make the Paralympics, and I've been trying to be an advocate for those that might need a voice that sometimes don't often get heard.
Wow. I remember when I was reading your bio, and what's one of the things you said to your dad when you were in your hospital bed?
I asked if Team Canada beat Team USA in sled hockey, and he said no, the Team Canada lost. So I kind of made it a goal of mine to try to win that gold medal back against the States.
Awesome, Ryan. That is fantastic. Now, have you been working with Synaptic with your rehab?
Yeah, so I've been going there for about 7.5 years. They were the first clinic I went to, and we've been working on trying to keep the legs healthy, try to regain some neurological function. And I've been fortunate enough to work with some very great physios and work with Wen over at Synaptic to help me reach my goals.
She's an incredible person. I went there for I don't remember. Oh, it was about a week way back in January. They do have an incredible team. Now, when I was there, you were demonstrating the exoskeleton. Tell me about that.
It was a really cool experience. They called me one day and asked if I'd be interested in trying it to regain the hope of walking again, but on my own with no support. So I went to Synaptic. I got into the exoskeleton machine after being measured up. I stood up for the first time and controlled myself almost like a video game where I was able to take steps and move, and that was it was riveting. I mean, it was a really, really life-altering decision to go ahead with it.
That's I remember when I saw you and I thought, wow, that is fantastic. And you know, Ryan, with your drive and determination, one of these days you'll be walking for sure.
I hope so. Thank you.
So now the Strass Foundation, I'm guessing it was originally established to help you with your rehab, right?
Yeah, it was originally funds raised to help me with rehabilitation and any sort of hospital costs. And then during the pandemic, I decided, you know what, the funds are kind of sitting there. Let's try to do something with it. So I decided to start a charity organization to give back to others with disabilities an opportunity to reach their goals through adaptive sport and rehabilitation funding.
Wow. So anyway, I mean, you're one of number one goal, adaptive sports for all, right?
Yeah.
But here's another one I thought was very important: education on mental and physical disabilities. Like what you're doing right now, you're spreading the word, and that is awesome. Now, hopefully, eventually, we will uh, get a cure for disabilities. Now, uh, Ryan, words of advice for anyone. And you know what? Yours is an extreme course or case, sorry, but people go through stuff all the time. What is your advice?
There's so many different avenues I could take with this one, but I think the only time you don't reach your goals or the only time that you fail in life is as soon as you give up. Right? My entire life, I got cut from hockey teams. I faced adversity, and the only reason I've made it through is because I just didn't stop. It wasn't easy. It wasn't the most fun, but I just didn't stop, and that allowed me to be in this position today.
Like, I think that's a huge thing. I remember one of the quotes, and I've got to find this one because it was a good one. That um the only and you know what, my wording is gonna be all wrong because
I,
guess
I think I think I know which one you're talking about. The only disability you can have is a bad attitude.
right. I mean, if you believe, and I know for myself, in the beginning they said, you know what, she's not gonna live. And then, you know what, you they had a meeting unknown to me with my husband and son and daughter-in-law. And don't think she's gonna come home because she won't. They expect me to lie there in my hospital bed, right? Kind of fooled them, but
There you
uh,
go.
and here's the thing. I'm just trying to imagine how you felt when you stood up in that exoskeleton. I mean, just standing for the first time for myself, not as bad as you, it was only a stroke, but to actually stand up and feel yourself standing, wow.
Yeah, it definitely helped me remain hopeful for sure of what the future can bring.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking at other you see another thing, Ryan. All is also hosting a Um, it's not a conference because it's all only one day in October, like a follow-up to our conference last year. Two things. I hope you come. And the second, and I hope I'm not stepping on anyone's toes by asking this, I hope that you speak there because having it's one thing for a Joe Blow down the road who no one really knows to talk about something, but having someone who has really experienced what you've experienced means a lot.
Well, I appreciate that, and I hope I can make the event.
Actually, it's going to be somewhere around the 24th of October. It'll be held in Wetaskiwin.
Okay.
And we have some phenomenal people with the group. We had Dr. Cry from Chicago talking about AI. Um, like that is
Wow.
incredible. It's like one of those science fiction movies.
Yeah.
And that exoskeleton was very much like a science fiction as
Yeah.
well.
Exactly.
One other question. Have you just thought about writing a book?
I have. I definitely think I'm in the beginning stages of my story, so I'd like to see where my life ends up and then decide, to go for the book.
I actually do that because I wrote a little one. It's really thin, but it did two things at a time when I couldn't do much of anything. This still worked well. I think it does, even if other people disagree. Um, Gave me something to focus on. But at the very least, Ryan, journal, because all these little things, um, that is what gives, in my mind, people hope, knowing that you've gone through it. And, okay, I'm not sure how much, I won't spend a lot of time, but were there times in the beginning when you wondered, is what's going to be with me? Or,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Right after everything happened, I didn't know what was next. I had this plan to be a hockey player and go to school and get an education, and that kind of changed things, right? You never prepare for that. You never expect it to happen. So you kind of just go with it. You figure out certain ways. You try to find things that are going to make you happy and things that you are still able to do and pursue them with the full intent.
you know what? I like one thing that I was reading, and you said in the beginning, you focus on one little thing you can do at a time, right?
Exactly.
Even if it's just getting up, stand, or you know what? So you need to stand with help. Who cares? You get to stand, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it can be daunting to look at big goals, but when you break it down to a granular level, it becomes a lot more achievable.
Right. So, in other words, anything happens, focus on the little bitty details.
Exactly.
Um, Now, Ryan, in the comments, I will get around to posting this today. Can you please put a link to the website for the foundation?
Sure.
I'm guessing you will not turn people away if
No,
they want to donate, uh,
sure.
and even finding out and about different um, what the organization does and so on.
Yeah. Okay. I
Aw-
can definitely do that.
Awesome, Ryan. That's this is we covered so much in the beginning. Um, is there any other thing that we want to add?
I just want to say thank you. This was awesome. I love connecting with people, and I appreciate you helping out with our charity and trying to get the story and message out there.
Hey, you're very welcome. And if I didn't get help, I wouldn't be able to pass it on. All right.
Exactly.
Take care, Ryan. You have a super duper day.
You as
And
well.
everybody else, remember, like, subscribe, have a good day, and keep smiling.
Alrighty.
Bye.